episode 81. And welcome into the Vengeance Cleared podcast, where we cover the best rivalry in all of sports. Yeah, I am Jesse Gutierrez, and I represent the side of the San Francisco Giants, who shit the bed and won a 3-5 last week.
And I'm Tyler Coe, and I represent the first place Los Angeles Dodgers, who went 5-2 last week.
First place. Calm down.
Well, you fucked up. You didn't represent your team in the standing. I did.
Well, right now
That's
they're not playing as like a
me.
first place team. So I'm not. I've been saying it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. I've been there before. You know what I mean?
I'm
like
just
act
saying,
like you've been there.
That's
all I'm saying. Act like you've been there.
I believe I said it 2 weeks ago. I said give the Dodgers 2 weeks and they'll be there. And I was right. And I know I may have said that probably 7 times this season, but I was right. And that's really all that matters. That's why the listeners are here, to hear me predict things that are going to happen, because I'm a goddamn genius. The Dodgers, they're coming for sole possession of first place. They had it for 12 hours. They wanted for more.
They did. Oh man, yeah. Without going too much, it was just super disappointing. I mean, we're gonna get into it mostly, when we get into that part of the show. But let's talk a little bit around the league. And I feel like we should have a Mets representative soon, because I feel like we're talking about the Mets every fucking week. I mean, I know that we played them back and forth, but like the around the league section of the podcast, we're always talking about the fucking Mets, and we got to talk about them again. I know it was at the end of the week. It happened like the day after we released last week. So it seems kind of old. And usually when that happens, if it doesn't talk about, it doesn't deal with the Dodgers or Giants, we'll just skip it. Cause I mean, it's kind of old news, but I feel like something is not being said that should be said. So let's just get into it. For players say what? It is Javier Baez. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I should be careful, because who really cares? But like, I kind of understand maybe where someone would be shocked by hearing this, or like the thing. What I'm trying to get at is the thought going around baseball is these millionaire players who are getting paid to play a game. And fans have the right to boo because they paid for a $30, $40 ticket, and they're just supposed to take it and not do anything. Some people are saying that it's, disrespectful to, do a booing gesture to your fans. Here's where I'm coming with this. Because like I said, if we would have echoed it, we probably wouldn't even talked about it because it happened so long ago. I feel like something is not being said, that Mets fans are fucking soft. Okay. If you are gonna, I am not a fan of. I mean, like for instance, if Chris Bryant started booing Giants fans, I'd be like, what the fuck? Because we never booed him. So, but if you are going to boo your guys, you're gonna boo your own team, and then they do a little gesture because they've been getting booed so bad because they're playing bad, and now they're starting to play good, so they're trying to turn it. I don't know. I feel like you're kind of a bitch if you get butthurt from it. Just because you buy a ticket and you're a fan doesn't mean you have the customer's always right and you want to speak to a fucking manager. Like, I don't. Yeah, it's so stupid.
You're not entitled to all of that. My thing is, dude, if that's what it takes to get the players riled up and get them hot and go on a little run, is because they hate their fans. As a fan, I'd be all for it. Whatever it fucking takes to get these dudes winning and hitting the ball, I'd be all for it. And I mean, I don't know if you saw that play where Javi Baez scored from first the other day.
Right.
Like a little drop shot in the left field. I mean, the dude can play baseball. I don't like Javi Baez personally, but the dude can play baseball. And if it really bothers you all that much, getting a thumbs down, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, I guess.
But it's
just, you just kind of look like a little bitch. Dude, at the Dodger games this year, specifically in the last couple months, sitting in the pavilion and sitting in the field level right next to the bullpen, I've heard some of the worst shit in batting practice when Cody Bellinger is in center field taking some defense. Dudes just telling him, like, why are you focusing on defense? You can't hit the fucking ball. Like,
right.
Dude, why do you – and then, Kenley Jansen warming up in the bullpen people are just like screaming at him like, "Don't fuck this up!" Like, dude, that's not how you get your guys going. So if they want to say something back at you, dude, take it on the chin. Be a fucking adult about it. Don't go crying about it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, if you were an organization that was anybody except for New York teams or Philly or Boston, I can't think of anyone else now turning into LA lately, then yes, be offended if they're booing you for like no reason. Like, if they're getting mad that, like, for instance, like the Giants attendance is down right now. People attribute it to COVID. Some people try to attribute it to ticket prices. It could be who fucking knows. But if they started booing the fans, then the fans that were showing up, then it would be kind of like, yeah, what's your problem? But if you're getting booed and your manager's getting chanted at that he should be fired, and then they just give you a thumbs up. I just don't understand. Like, you throw the first punch, like, take it. Like, they're doing good. Just be happy if it means that much to you. Like, you're just being soft. You're that little kid who keeps pushing and pushing and pushing, and then when another little kid punches him in the mouth and just starts crying.
And the thing is too, is fans should totally be able to boo their own team. I'm fine with that. If that's the way you want a fan, then by all means go for it. But again, like you're saying, don't dish it out if you can't take it. And you don't even have to take it. It's a fucking little hand gesture.
Right.
And although I will say it would have been smart on the Mets part just to be like, oh, it's a little inside thing. Just like they were, earlier in the year, the rat in the tunnel thing.
Right.
Just make up some bullshit and lie.
Well, Pilar and May, they said the right thing. They were like, oh, it's just a little thing that we've doing to fire ourselves up. I wouldn't read too much into it. That's what you say. But there's also people that are like applauding people like Derek Jeter and Bryce Harper for, because they were booed times in their career. And right now Bryce Harper was getting booed, I think, the last series. And they say things like, I'd boo myself too. I'm doing really shitty. And that's cool, but you shouldn't expect that from players and put that on players like, oh, I could do whatever I want. I could boo all day. Like, booing's not that big of a deal, but you get a thumbs down and all of a sudden it's the end of the world. Right. They're not like, there's signs. People are holding signs at Citi Field that's like, Lindor, we pay for my I pay for your haircut. And this, like, I was like, what does that even fucking mean? Like, it's so stupid. Like,
yeah, I mean,
take the thumbs down. Shut the fuck up.
I've been around enough Dodgers season ticket holders that feel entitled to shit because I'm a season ticket holder. And it's like they have a one bleacher seat that costs, $1,500 for the season. And they're like, we're paying for these teams' players. And it's like, no, you're not. You're not. So, like, you're not entitled to this. I own everything and I should get everything I want.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not like to downplay fandom, because at the end of the day, fans are the thing that drives baseball. Fans are, and fans care so much, more than they should, because it, like, technically does. I mean, we care way more than we probably should. But there's some people that care even more, and that's the people who are actually getting paid to play. So just take a step back, and you should get your dabs for, supporting your team and loving your team and sticking by your team. But at the same time, don't be so soft when it comes at you if you are going to boo. I'm not a person who boos my own team. I think that shit is whack. I mean, I'm like, if someone's coming in that's been struggling, I'm like, oh shit. I'm not saying, hey, be happy go lucky all the time, but to boo your team when they mess up, like if an error happens and you're booing them, I think that's stupid personally. But if you're going to do that and then you get a thumbs down, don't be a bitch. Take it.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Bench is Cleared podcast doesn't support bitches since 2019. Don't be a little puss boy.
Shit. Yeah. I mean, I think that's good enough there. We can go into some Giant and Dodger talk. The reason that everyone is here.
Let's get into Dodger baseball first, because that's Dodger the real reason everyone's here.
That's fine. You can warm me up.
We can end the show on the fucking plane crash nosedive that is the Giants organization. Dodgers last week 5-2. they finish off the series sweep against the Padres. And you and I were talking about this before we started recording. Isn't it nice that the Padres are a complete afterthought, and it's just like how things have always been. I don't even have to think about the Padres anymore.
Yeah, the last time I had to look at a Padres score was just because they were playing the Dodgers. Yeah. That was it. And then
isn't it wonderful? Dude, I really hope Cincinnati ends up getting the second wild card spot. That would be great. Just to see San Diego fans, cry and cry and cry like they've been. But anyways, I don't want to give them too much attention.
Right.
Dodgers then go into the series against Colorado with high expectations, and they lose the series. The first series they had lost in a month, I believe. And going into the series, I was like, okay, this is going to be easy. 2 out of 3, no problem. The Rockies are terrible on the road. They're a completely different team. Everyone knows that. And we just did not play well at all. So that going into the Braves series, I was pretty worried because the Braves were pretty hot. And I was pretty worried that we were going to run into this, buzzsaw that is the Atlanta Braves. But I was wrong. Dodgers swept the Braves. And boy, did it feel good. And there were some great games. Some late inning heroics 2 days in a row. First game, we were up, I believe it was 5-1. Then we let them score a couple. So it was closer than I would have liked, but it's still a great game. And then we come back in the 8th inning, I believe both nights on Tuesday and Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And it was just great. I mean, the bullpen looked like it was starting to crack a little bit, but I mean, to be honest, it's kind of expected, and I'd rather get it out of the way now. Like Phil Bickford gave up a home run. Vesia gave up a home run. I'd rather them, end their perfect streak now than this weekend, which we're going to get into. Mm-hmm. But they're
and the Dodgers are the luckiest team in baseball.
Hey, and Jock Peterson.
Jock Peterson, the luckiest team in baseball.
Oh, the luckiest. Fuck
the
you.
Luckiest team
the luckiest team in baseball. Fuck you. Anyways, yeah, Jock Peterson, not really knowing where that center field wall is. That's because Jock Peterson's not a center fielder, and we all know that. Jock Peterson is at best a left fielder.
He's just still on the Dodgers.
Hey, that routine fly ball could have been dropped by anyone, okay? By anyone. So yeah, shout out blonde Jock. It's kind of weird. He looks pretty weird, but good for him. Hey, Jock hit a home run off Walker Buehler, okay? So you can't pull that bullshit.
Yeah, I can.
Anyways,
because he was like, "Oh shit, I put him ahead. Now I got to make this error to make sure they go ahead." So it's crazy.
Anyways,
it's crazy.
Pitching looked great.
Crazy.
Max Scherzer last night was throwing a gem. Gets taken out in the 6th inning, and watching Dodgers Twitter fall apart, it makes me realize why I hate so many people on the Dodgers Twitter timeline. Is as soon as he gets pulled, everyone's, "Oh, Dave Roberts, he's a fucking moron. What an idiot. Why would he do that?" And if you have any shred of intelligence in your brain, you had to know there was something going on, because Scherzer had 6 shutout innings, 75 pitches. There's no way Dave Roberts is going to take him out after 75 pitches.
Right.
After he's throwing 6 shutty. There's no way. And then
if anyone were to do it, I could see where I get what you're saying. In hindsight, it sounds dumb, but in the moment, I would think the same thing.
Okay, but it was a 2-0 game. If it were like 10-0, sure, go for it. That would be, I don't think anyone would complain. That would make sense in my opinion.
Right.
It was a close game, and you have arguably your best pitcher or second best pitcher on the mound. So just watching the timeline explode, like, "Ooh, Dave bad, Dave big brain move,
Dave bad."
Like, I'm not going to sit here and defend a lot of Dave Roberts' managerial decisions, but he had to know that something was going on. And then it comes out that his hamstring was a little tight, but it doesn't seem like it's anything to be concerned about. So, they get the sweep. Everyone's looking good except Cody Bellinger, of course. So, yeah, Mookie Betts, he looks like that hip isn't bothering him. So our boy Jay Jackson was wrong. Jay Jackson said he's not going to be Mookie until the end of the season. He gets surgery. Wrong.
I mean, it's just a couple games. Calm down now.
Wrong. So now I'm just gonna pop into my stud and dud of the week. Stud, I'm gonna give it to my boy Will Smith. He went 6 for 13, 2 home runs for a 462 average and a 1456 OPS.
Pretty good.
I mean, it's a lot better than the Giants. And I know I just said everyone is looking good. That is everyone except Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor's been on a little bit of a Chris Taylor's been a little bit of a cold streak. 1 for 17 the last week. So, excuse me, a 59 average and a 385 OPS. Not an on-base percentage, an OPS. So not looking too good there, but he'll figure it out. It is what it is. That one hit he had this past week was a big one, was a clutch hit. So it is what it is.
How's Max Muncy right now? Is he like okay? Because I remember he was really cold, but he's kind of got off his cold streak, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Just really worried about that. Little foreshadowing.
He had the home run, then triple last night. So I was hoping, man.
Jock Peterson had a negative triple like that. That was given.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying, when he comes for triples alley this weekend, I'm thinking Max Muncy has 2 inside the park home runs.
Gosh.
Just saying.
Get the fuck out of here. If Max Muncy hits a triple at Oracle Park this weekend, I don't know. I'll
bro. Trey Turner is poised to have like 5 inside the park home runs. Dude, your outfield shit. Your outfield's dog shit. I know Austin Slater threw out Vogelback from a perfect ricochet in right field, and he barely threw him out at second.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not sure if you just saw the highlight or you actually watched it.
No, I was watching the game.
I know it was because Vogelbach was so slow, but he did play it well. That thing was hit in the perfect spot where they weren't. And it was like when it was rolling, I was like, fuck, that's an easy double. And then like it was just like, wow, he's just rounding first. Is he really trying for second?
I could not believe that it was that close. And then they said that Vogelback has like had some leg problems. So he's even slower than normal, and he's the slowest guy in the league.
Yeah. Slowest guy, plus that was like one of the worst slides I've ever seen in my life. So yes. I think that was more of a good play and than you're saying, but it was due to the fact that Vogelback was that slow because it just happened to.
Did you see what I just did? I just baited you. Yeah, the slowest dude in the league who happened to be hurt, luckiest team in baseball.
Yeah, so lucky that Austin Slater played the ball on the bricks very well and has a fucking laser arm. That's luck right there. Not Jock Peterson.
Against basically someone.
Do I turn right?
That's like your fat ass running from first to second. All right.
That's not, but like that's like extra. Like I don't know. That was a special case.
All right. Why don't you talk about your loser team right now? So we can just get depressed.
Let's get depressed for a second over here, Giants fans. Man,
it feels so good to not be the depressed one. First time since April.
You're just a bitch and you cry even when your team has like a 4-2 week. You're like, we lost 2 games. The world's gonna end. We're supposed to be the best team in the world. But anyways, Giants do have a 3-5 week. I'm gonna run through the stuff that's happening because I honestly don't feel like it's that huge of a deal. I mean, I feel like the pitching is not struggling nearly as bad as people are letting on, but it's just the offense is so fucking dead. And the thing is they are hitting the ball hard, but it's at people. So in my head, they're coming around. It'll happen. It'll find holes. It is what it is. Teams go on this little bit of a skid. I don't think it's something to really cry about. I mean, here's the thing that really bugs me, right? People are posting on Twitter things like, "Oh my God!" Like when the Dodgers took first place, it was, oh, why is everyone complaining? I mean, if anyone would have told you where we are now to where we were supposed to, told you in April where we are now, you would be thanking the heavens and just be happy that it happened. And it's like, why are you talking like it's the end of the season and we lost the fucking division? Like that type of energy is bullshit too. So don't try to act like it's over and that they're out of it. If you think, I mean, that's just the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard in my life. Also, don't be acting like the sky is falling. This is the first time this season. Sorry, the second time this is the first time they lost 2 series in a row since May 1st through 5th. Okay? That's going to happen every once in a while. You're not going to win every series the entire year. Okay? Calm down, take a deep breath. We pecker slapped the Dodgers this weekend and all is forgotten. Who cares? But that's going ahead.
Doubt it.
Tyler, we're not going ahead right now. We're going to stay on par.
It.
We're going to stay on par right now. I mean, the Brewers series, when we lost the first 2 games, I was honestly completely not worried. I was like, we're set up to lose those games. I mean, best 2 starters in baseball versus a bullpen game and Johnny Cueto. It would have been crazy if we would have won one of those games. So I was like, listen, but to lose that Gausman game against Anderson, that is the only game that's a little worrisome. Because that's a game that should have been won. Webb is just, I think we should just go into it. Stud and dud of the week. And before I get into Webb, because he's obviously the stud of the week, we're just going to do a quick offense is cold, so there could be multiple people. But with the most plate appearances, unfortunately, I have to give it to my man, Brandon Crawford, who is having an MVP type season and has really cooled down. No extra base hits and hitting 100. So slugging 100. OPS 350.
Man.
So
they must
not very good.
They must be starting a drug test. Just saying.
Is that what it is?
That must be it.
Is that going to be your excuse when Brandon Crawford goes off and
when you guys lose the wild card game? Yeah, probably.
When it goes off and beats pecker slaps the Dodgers this weekend. We're going ahead. We're not going ahead, Tyler. Stop trying to make me go ahead. Just calm down. Okay. So to go into my stud, the best pitcher under 25 in the league has to be my man, Logan Webb, who is obviously my stud this week. 14 innings pitched, obviously in 2 starts, 1 earned run and 16 Ks. He has just looked night and day since he went off the IL, since he's come back off the IL a couple months ago. Added another start to his streak of consecutive starts allowing 2 runs or less. He is just past Kevin Gausman last start for 13. So now he has 14 and the record is 16. So I'm expecting him to bust it this year. He's going to bust it. So, and if you look against the team, I tweeted the teams that he did it against. It's the Braves, the Brewers twice, the Dodgers twice. It's not easy, easy teams he's doing this against. This guy's really impressive. He looks like he can be a bona fide ace of the future. Under team control. He's 24 years old. Just balls flopping all over the place. Just dick out. It's amazing. I'm so excited that he's doing this well. But yeah, to cap off this last week in Giants land, we are unfortunately going to have to say goodbye to the. I mean, I guess he wasn't a third base coach before, but third base coach Ron Wotus, Big Woe. He was the last remaining coach from the Bochy era, but he was also part of the previous regimes. I mean, he's been with the Giants organization for 34 years. If you include minor leagues. So it sucks that he's going to go. It was the last familiar face, but he's going to be, in the front office and stuff. So it'd be really nice. The Giants do a nice deep postseason run for Woe, for Brandon Belt's grandma, for Margaret, for everybody, for Kipe, who's dealing with his illness. So all of them, we're going deep. We're vibing. Gang, gang. Oh,
sounds like a lot of words. Sounds like the ramblings of someone who's scared.
I don't really go there. I am a little worried about COVID running rampant through the Giants dugout, though. Wood is on the COVID IL for testing positive. Donnie Barrels test positive back when they were in New York. And Johnny Cueto does not test positive, but he has felt flu-like symptoms. So they skipped him for a day, looked terrible, and now he's back on the IL. So a little worried about this rotation. We shall see what happens. But Jose Quintana came up and actually looked very well. Pitched almost 4 innings of shutout ball against the Brewers. So maybe he gets a spot start, and that's just Farhan. This guy has a 6 ERA and was an all-star 3 years ago. Bring him over. I'm going to turn him into a fucking ace. Okay? I'm going to freaking just Scalfani and Kevin Gausman this bitch. I'm going to Drew Pomeranz, okay? And just turn this guy into a freaking stud, which he is. So Jose Quintana, gang.
Are you done? Are you done? Okay,
I'm
wonderful.
Not done. Now I'm done.
Now I'm done. Let's get into the series this week, because it couldn't have been scripted any better. Right. I mean, I would have preferred the Dodgers be up by a game, half game, or 100 games by now. But going into the last series of the season, which again, stupid that this is the last time these two teams are going to meet with a whole month left of the season. It's fucking dumb.
This scheduling, I mean, I know we've commented on it a couple times, but the scheduling this year has been just so stupid. So many 2-game series with in division teams, so many back-to-back series where starters are facing the same fucking line. I understand it happens every once in a while, but this year has happened a ridiculous amount of times, and it's so stupid, and I hate it. Sorry, go ahead.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, it couldn't be scripted any better. This is the most important series of the season for both teams. It's crucial that both teams win the series. And something I want to point out, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, and you said this: if you just win the series, you only gain a game. So as from the Dodgers and Giants perspective, even losing the series isn't, a killer of your season. Right. You're still only going to be 1 game back. If you get swept, if either team gets swept, that's definitely a cause for concern. Right. But it's going to be super interesting, because you want to come out at least a game up. So going into it, it's kind of hard to judge, because we don't know. I'm sure there's speculation. We don't know who's pitching for the Giants, but for the Dodgers, we have David Price going on Friday. We have Julio Urias going on Saturday, and then Walker Buehler, Cy Young, Bueller going on Sunday. So I feel pretty good if they can win the series opener with David Price, and then we got Julio and Walker. I'd be fucking nervous if I were a Giants fan that the brooms are going to be coming out. So I think the biggest Friday, if they can steal that win, it could be a great weekend for the Dodgers. Could be going to St. Louis up 3 in the division, which would be fantastic.
Right. And I think that's a good point, that tomorrow's game, or when you're listening to this, today's game is really big for the Giants. For the Dodgers, I mean, all games, this whole series is big. But if the Dodgers lose game 1, I don't think they're losing any sleep over it. I think that they look and they have Urias and Bueller in 2 and 3. If for the Giants to win the series, it's very important that they take the first 2. I know Scalfani is expected to start a game. I would imagine it would be today's game, or today's game if you're listening to this today. But then afterwards, just a bunch of question marks, because Cueto's out, and I'm not sure exactly the day that Wood's able to come back. So, and if he's able to come back, I know it's the earliest is 7 days, but there's no updates on exactly how he's doing, how he's feeling. You also don't want to shove Wood out there, if he's feeling like shit. I think you figure something out and maybe call up a Sean Jelly. Sammy Long should be out there. So maybe it's just a piggyback situation for Scalfani, because, the last couple starts he hasn't really, last start he was on kind of like a pitching limit. He did look better. So yeah, like I said, no idea who's pitching, but definitely important for them to get game 1, and pretty important to get game 2, and then hopefully roll the dice for game 3, because we've won 2 Walker Buehler games this year. So we've done it a couple times. So try to do it again.
And those will be the last that you win this season against.
How about this?
The future Cy Young.
I'll take a L. I'll take a L on in 2 days, but when we play the series, we'll get another Bueller win then. So we win the playoffs. So that would be tight. I'll make that deal with you right now. Signed, dated, and stamped.
Doubt it. Something I just thought of off the top of my head. I want you to call your stud and dud of the week. Your stud and dud of the series. What's your prediction?
Okay, I think one thing is really important to point out really quick that our two teams are playing another series after that. We are playing the Rockies at home, so they're a better team. But I'm still hoping that we go a 4-2 week next week. But to answer your question, so elegant as you so elegantly put it, I'm gonna go dud.
Whoops.
Ooh, I don't want to put that bad juju on no way. That's terrible. But I'm gonna do it on an offensive player, and I'm gonna say, I think maybe Yaz. Yeah, Yaz might be dudding. I'll give that to Yaz. But for stud, I am feeling a hot hand with. Oh, but Lamont Wade might not play that much. It has to be a righty. So you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to go to an everyday player. Crawford's going to go dud to stud. Crawford's going to be my stud of the week. There it is.
Interesting. For
Long-winded answer, but yeah.
for the Dodgers, for stud, I'm also going to go with a hot hand. I'm going Trey Turner, hitting like almost, I think 346. So almost 350 last week. His defense is slowly but surely shoring up a bit, which is nice because he's a great shortstop. I don't understand how he can't figure out second base.
Makes no sense, right?
I want to say I also wanted to put in Chris Taylor or Cody Bellinger because I think they could go from dud to stud.
Right.
But because I don't know the pitching matchups, I don't know if they're going to be playing. Dud, I think AJ Pollock might continue to struggle if he gets some playing time. It's just hard with that Dodger outfield to know who's even going to be playing. But he's like 1 for 18 the last week. So I could see that. But I think Trey Turner is going to make a huge difference. So
yeah, I think there's going to be some honorable mentions. My guy, Tyro Mygyro, is gonna. I mean, who hit the huge home run today?
The luckiest home run.
He's gonna be great. Luckiest home run, right? Yeah, home run at Oracle Park. And of course, I don't know why the first name that didn't pop into my head when I think of power righties on the Giants has to be my man Chris Bryant, aka Clay Thompson. They're the same guy apparently. So,
Jesus Christ,
same guy.
Real neat. The Dodgers are gonna have. We're not even going to have honorable mentions. It's just going to be stud on top of stud on top of stud. So I'm not even going to go there.
Sense, okay.
I forgot to mention Dodgers have 4 games after they beat the Giants in the series in St. Louis. So that big part about that series is Clayton Kershaw will be eligible to come off the IL. Will he? We don't know, but that would be pretty nice. Best rotation in baseball. Also, quick note, just because I had to watch the Giants game today, the whole thing, which was terrible. Right. And something our boy McCovey Cove Dave pointed out on Instagram that I had no idea. If that Willy Adames home run would have been fair, that would have been the first splash hit from a right-handed batter ever.
Oh, shit. I didn't even realize it. I knew that. I knew that there was never one, but I didn't, the 2-2 didn't like, that was a splash hit. That's crazy.
Yeah, that would have been
Willy Adames would have been the one. That's like because the thing is like
on his birthday, nevertheless.
That's right. Krug and Kipe always talk about guys, right-handed guys who could do it. Like they'll say like when Tyler Austin was there last year, oh, he has the strength to do it. Darren Ruff has the strength to do it. Austin Slater, because he has an inside out swing and he hits a lot to opposite field, maybe he could. So that's crazy. I didn't even put those 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, it would have been perfect if Willy Adames did it, because no one would have ever been like, "That's the guy."
Right? Yeah,
that's like the power hitter that we think.
Right,
yeah.
right.
So that would have been super cool. And originally, it was called a home run. So
yeah,
I'd like to say he's still in the record book. That home run should have counted. I didn't see it go foul.
What was Craig Counsell arguing? Like,
well, because they called it fair.
Well, yeah, because that's I mean that's they mess up calls all the time.
I know, but it's weird to see a home plate umpire call it fair, and then be like immediately like, "All right, guys, let's get together. Did I get the call right?"
Right, like, right. Yeah, but why are you arguing that? Like, are you like all of a sudden like because that's what they did? They checked it, and even if the home plate umpire didn't do it, Austin Slater was yelling that it was foul. So obviously Gabe Kapler would have challenged it. So like, what are you getting upset about? Like,
I don't know. Sometimes you just need to go, rah for your guys. Like Gabe Kapler should have done the other night, but he didn't.
You are completely correct. I do want to say one thing really fast about Game 3. This is the worst lopsided scorecard I've ever seen. It was shit. I wish I had it in front of me. I was looking at it earlier, but it was. You know how like the scorecards they'll always have like positive run differential. I guess it would be run differential, right? Or calling differential, whatever they want to call it. But it's always like in the ones. This was close to 3. Like it's always close to point one something. This was 0.3. It was so bad. But I'm also not going to be that guy that's going to post, because there was bad calls both ways. I just think it was more critical areas. And I get annoyed when other people like, I'm not going to call out anyone personally, but there's people on Dodgers Twitter who do it a lot. And it just bugs me. It's like, dude, like you're crying at this point, So I don't know.
Yeah. I will say, like I've said so many times, I've watched so many fucking Giants games. It's disgusting. The umpiring crew this series was pretty bad, but I don't think it really factored into too much.
It wasn't
Game
like
3 was by far the worst.
It was the worst. So fucking bad. But I mean, I don't think it was in enough situations to where it was like it lost the game. I think even if it was perfect, it probably would have went the same way. So I'm not going to.
The Dodgers didn't have the best umpiring crew this series against the Braves, but they swept. So
both ways, right? Yeah,
it's not really a thought after that. But yeah, big game, big series this weekend. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I feel like I'm going to vomit, and that's why we love baseball.
Hopefully, we might be watching the game together today. I mean, if you're listening today, but we will see. But did you give a prediction? What are the Dodgers going to go this next week?
I mean, I could definitely see them going 4-3. I don't know. I want to say they're going to go 5-2, but I could.
Right.
I'd say the floor is 3 and 4.
You got to pick one.
Fuck you.
You got to.
I'm going Dodgers 5-2.
Okay.
Dodgers I'd like to sweep the Giants, but split the series in St. Louis.
I would be happy if they went 4-3. Just making the loss to go the Giants' way, and then maybe take 3 out of 4 for the from the Cardinals. That would be fine for me. And just Giants just have to do something like sweep the Rockies. It's no big deal. That's what we're gonna do. It's gonna be great.
Are you playing them in Colorado?
Unfortunately, yes. I know that they're a lot better at home. Yes.
Ooh, major.
But they're playing the Braves right now, so hopefully they're gonna wear out their bullpen, maybe do a couple extra inning games, and we'll be good.
Sounds like a true loser. But we will see. But if you don't want to be a loser, go get some candles from Renovation Candle Company, the sponsor of every episode. Right now, fall candles are out. Go get some. Tell them Jesse sent you for no discount.
There's this guy, Jesse. Yeah, you're actually going to get charged more now, so maybe you shouldn't. But yes, you should go to the website, buy some candles, because no one likes people that are stinky. Thank you so much for listening to this podcast and all the new listeners. We've been I did just want to take a second to say we have been growing a lot this this year for sure, a lot. So we thank you guys so much for listening. We appreciate it and feel loved, and we want to give the love back. So thank you so much for listening. Make sure to subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting platform, as well as follow us on all social medias. Instagram by Just Clear Podcast. Twitter benches cleared Pete, and TikTok benches cleared. Thank you so much, and we will see you. We're gonna release an episode Friday next week, so we'll see you on Friday next week.